Hi everyone, I got a very rare beer from a tiny little brewery. They're called Rustic Brewing Company, and they are close to Springfield, Massachusetts, in Indian Orchard, and like a really old mill building in the basement in a cool area. And you have to reserve your growlers ahead of the time and go there on a Saturday between 2 and 5 to get their beers, because they just don't have enough that they can just kind of sell it on premises to anyone who walks in. They usually sell out. And I think, are this popular because before they even opened, they won this Mass Brew Bros thing where they did a blind tasting of all these different Massachusetts IPAs, and they won it. They didn't win this year's, but they won 2018's. So what right now I'm drinking is their IPA called G21. It's 7.3% alcohol. I don't know the exact malts in there, but they do list Amarillo, Eldorado, Centennial as the hops, and then in the double dry hopping, they throw Big Secret into that mix. So pretty interesting combo of hops with some older American hops, newer one, and then the Vic Secret, which is Australian, and I find it to be really similar to Galaxy. I've never had anything from this brewery, don't know anyone who's had anything from this brewery. So I don't know what to expect, but I expect it to be pretty good. It's kind of a cute little growler that can actually fit in the fridge nicely. Let's see what's going on. Looks like it wasn't ultra carbed. I didn't put any tape or anything around the cap to make sure it was sealed tight. But also with this little growler is kind of weird. I'm betting there's a chance that the beer on the bottom might have a little bit more carbonation. I notice that happens sometimes, but that looks real nice and hazy. A little bit on the dark orange side. Definitely darker than the Treehouse beers I've been drinking lately. Because if you make a trip to Treehouse, it's only about half an hour further west to get to this place, and it's right by a really good Jamaican food place, so it's worth going. It's kind of a cool spot, and eventually they're going to start doing more pours and stuff actually at the brewery, which I would definitely like to go for. And though the head died down, there's still a nice ring of bubbles, so it doesn't look like it's a real messed up carbonation or anything. I think it kind of has to do with the growler. I feel like I haven't smelled something quite like this in a while. It's not dank. It's really big on the candied orange side. I feel like the Amarillo is coming out really strong. And they did say it's a slightly sweeter malt profile, and I'm getting some sweetness for sure from the malt. Yeah, I like that aroma a lot. There's not much happening from the yeast at all. I'm not getting a lot of esteries or any estery stuff, you know, the fruity apricot stone fruits that a lot of brewers get from using like English ale yeasts. I chatted with the brewer there for a while, but I didn't ask him about the yeast strain or anything. Yeah, that's really nice. I don't want to say it's buttery, but there's just like a rich fruit tart thing going on, or tart thing, that I like a lot, and it's really unique. The candied orange is really jumping out. I guess it's tropical too. I think I'll have to take a sip to figure out what's happening. Yeah, really clean. Really easy to drink. Had a pretty good body. Kind of soft, not quite syrupy. It isn't light and airy and fluffy, but it just reminds me of some older New England style IPAs that some breweries used to do. I guess when they're like really small batches, because clearly this brewery's tiny. They're like one or two barrel batch brewery, so that's why they can't really release so much of it. But it's just so much orange flavor. It's really dominated by like a really nice, fresh, sweet, juicy orange. A little bit A little bit of a bitter orange peel thing going on, almost bergamot. This is like a really obscure beer, but Beer Works, a local chain around Boston, they used to have some hazy IPAs. They would do like small batches, and this kind of reminds me of those beers, which don't even exist anymore. But it seems like they're using a much cleaner American ale yeast, like a Sierra Nevada type yeast, and that's really letting a lot of these citrusy orange characters from the hops come out, and not really bringing in these stone fruit esters that make it like tropical and peachy as much. And as you drink more, I'm definitely getting some Vic's Secret spicy stuff. It's not really green like I often get from Vic's Secret or Galaxy. Oh no. Yes, now it's getting more herbaceous on the tongue. A little bit more bitterness. Yeah, this is weird, but it almost reminds me of some of Jack Sabby's old, also not in production, triple dry hopped versions of Hoponius Union. Like they did a triple dry hopped Amarillo version. That of course, those are lagers, it's an IPL, but they would hop them so much that it gets really hazy for a lager, and it would almost cover up the sort of lager yeast character, but it would really just send straight Amarillo candied orange to you. And that's what's happening in this one a lot. And if you swirl it around, get a little bit of bubbles coming back up. Yeah, oh now I'm getting some heat. It is 7.3, so there should be some booze quality. But I like how it's kind of a throwback. A Centennial is now bringing in some pine and stuff. Yeah, maybe if now the aroma's good, but at first I wasn't getting too much aroma. I was thinking maybe it was kind of lower carb, but I think it's pretty much fine. It just opens up. I guess it was also super cold in this growler in my fridge. But if you like some, I guess, slightly more old-fashioned hazy IPAs, but ones that aren't big on yeast qualities, where you're not getting Tootsie Roll and peanut and all these weird sort of flavors you can get from really expressive yeasts, and go for this one. And it's drier and a little bit more bitter than a lot of haze. So it's really kind of bridging the gap in a way that's pretty unique right now, I'd say. A little bit floral. Yeah, now I'm getting the complexity of all the different hops. But it is slightly boozy or something in the finish. It's just a little bit, I don't want to say medicinal, but I'm just noticing the 7.3 in here. It's not getting covered up by a whole bunch of sweetness and a whole bunch of yeast yeast complexity. I'm really glad that I went and grabbed this. I would definitely look to try more of their beers. This one I'd give, like a 4.25 probably. It isn't one of their most highest rated beers, so it's a pretty good rating on Untappd. So I'd be interested to try some other ones that people think are a little better. But there's nothing wrong with this beer at all, I would say. So yeah, close to a 4.25 for me. Goodbye.